How realistic would you say the physics are in this game compared to, being in one of our cars? I mean, obviously it's different being these are modifieds they're racing.
Yeah, of course. The iRacing is quite realistic to say the least. Of course, I think the only real thing that, and David even said it best during the drivers' meeting we had there on Tuesday to go over some fine tuning and some rules. The only real thing you can't get on iRacing is the getting hurt part. Unfortunate as it is, as we see the grid start to take shape. Of course, we had a 6-car inversion. Looking like Ryan Holland and Shane Billings are going to go away on the front row after that invert. Gavin Isley, Wade Purchase making up row number 2. Or just trying to... Yeah, Wade Purchase and Isley making up row 2. From what I can see here, we have Tyler Bushy on the outside of row 3 with Matt Barber to his inside. Just waiting. Chad Lackey and James Normoil, your heat winners, rolling off from row 4. Of course, inverting the field here, so we give the field a good chance at everything and get a good product of racing going on. As row 5, from what I can see, we are looking at the 7 of black and the 9. As we are getting the 1 to go signal here, going green. Rylan, are you watching the stream currently?
Oh, my headset disconnected.
Yeah, no, I am watching the stream.
If you want to jump in and do some commentating with me, by all means, man.
I'll have to figure something out because when I watch the stream through the PlayStation, I get 2 different audios.
Yeah, 100% you would. I know exactly what you're talking about, but nonetheless, the pace car or the pace truck has pulled off. The flagman has the green flag in his hand.
Green flag.
Do Billings on the outside, and sorry, I'm just trying to see who that is coming to the green flag as the camera's looking down in turn number 1. That's Ryan Holland bringing us to green with Shane Billings. The number 53, Wade Purchase and Isley staying right on their tails as Purchase is working the middle, trying to split the difference between those two. As,
Yellow flag is out.
Purchase gets into a little bit of trouble there with Normoil out into the outside wall hard. I do believe that will be putting us under caution here in a moment. And that is the caution for James Normoil and a bunch of other drivers ending up getting collected. I see Zach Lynch involved, Clayton Solovsky involved. Pretty sure Michael Peak's in there. Kyle Creasy as well. Brandon Warren as the field gathers back up. As I do believe we did get a one lap in. Billings will still be your front row leader with Holland. Wade Purchase scored as 3rd, Isley 4th, Barber 5th, Bushy 6th, Lackey and Normoil. Normoil, of course, part of the caution, so he'll be dropping. As timing and scoring starts to cycle around, as we work this caution, I'll be able to give everybody a more solid idea on where everybody scored at. Holland, Billings, Purchase, Isley, Barber, Bushy, and Josh Black, I do believe that is. Brody Plotz behind him as we're still working the caution flag. Turn number 3 and 4 is where we're working into here at Oswego. Just wanted to give a shout out to good friend of mine, Clayton Solovsky, stepping up with Pine Tree Automotive for during the regular season. We will be awarding a $10 hard charger bonus from Pine Tree Automotive Racing. For the driver in the A-main that passes the most cars. Of course, timing and scoring will be official for that. But like I said, shout out to Clayton for doing that. Of course, Pine Tree Automotive, his side business. Get in touch with Clayton for any automotive service needs. As the pace truck, the lights are out. We are going green this time by 1 lap complete of the 30 here at Oswego tonight. Just a reminder, I do believe we have a 60 or 90 minute window to get this race in. Of course, we don't want everybody up late at night as we are green. Holland and Billings and Purchase. Isley leading the way down into turn number 1. Billings looking high to the outside, cuts Isley off as Purchase working the bottom, gets around Shane Billings. Matt Holland starting to check out from the field a little bit as Barber's following along that bottom and behind Purchase with Josh Black. Looks like about 6 cars under a blanket for second place here, coming off of turn 4 as Barber and Billings and Isley trying to sort things out for P number 2. Clayton Slavsky getting a piece of the wall there, coming through turn 1 and 2. Of course, Clayton's probably one of his first few times here at Oswego, getting a little more seat time as we are 3 wide coming in through turns number 3 and 4, coming off of 4, 3 wide for, I do believe that is P5. Bushy, Billings, and Barber getting shuffled back into P5 as Black working the inside, Tyler Bushy following him. Barber kind of hung out to dry there, like I said earlier. Multiple grooves here at this track. You're either right up against that concrete barrier or right up against that boilerplate wall. Of course, here at
Yellow.
named Steel Palace for that. As Holland making his way out with Wade Purchase and Isley sitting in P3 as we come to a caution flag here. Not 100% sure what that's for as we're working lap number 5. Pace truck pulling out of the pit area. Of course, field will gather back up behind them. Ryan Holland doing a very, very good job here in that number 18 tonight as well. Of course, saw the performance of James Normoyle, who got into a little bit of trouble early here at Oswego. Hopefully he'll be able to rebound. Sorry, that's the number 15 of Holland. Don't know why scoring of mine says 18. Of course, behind him, you have Wade Purchase, regular at the Brighton, Ontario track. Gavin Isley, of course, regular in the sportsman class in the tracks in the Northeast. So like I said earlier, one way or another, all these drivers have ties to dirt racing, whether they're commentators, drivers in other classes, drivers in the modified chassis classes. It's just amazing to see that we're able to put on a show like this. There's a couple notables in the field. Brody Plotz, P9 right now. Chad Lackey sitting in 12th. He won one of our heat races. I do believe he may have gotten caught up in that same trouble that he was with Normoyle at the start. As we are coming to green this time, Holland. Purchase leading us to green. Gavin Isley working the bottom. Gets a really, really good jump in behind Holland. As Wade Purchase working right up against that outside wall. Looking for a little bit of bite if he can find it as Isley gets to the bottom of him. Like I said, that outside has just not been that strong on the starts and restarts tonight. Until you can really get your car wound out, you don't really want to be out there. As Holland working the bottom, Gavin Isley right on his tail the tail of his bumper. Wade Purchase not that far back as a couple drivers scatter in the back there coming off at turn 2. Not 100% sure. I do believe that will be putting us under caution though. I saw Shane Billings back there. Shane manages to get away. Chad Lackey starting to work his way back up. Brody Plotz behind him. Normoyle starting to hunt the front again. Currently scoring, showing him in P14. So hopefully he'll be able to rebound from what he was. Of course, Normoyle, very, very well seasoned iRacer. Winning our first 2 Northeast iRacing League practice events. I can say though, after that meeting, even though we're only working lap number 7 here of this A-Main, we have put on quite a show so far. Of course, the top 6 cars really swapping positions. Ryan Holland leading the way though for all 7 laps so far tonight. Just wanted to give a shout out to Jim Bordon as well. He's quite a very, very kind man, to say the least. Of course, commentator at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway on Saturday nights throughout the race season as we are going 1-2 green. Clayton Slavsky working his way, trying to catch back up to the leaders here, as he very well should, as the green flag's back out. Holland, Purchase, Isley leading them down to turn number 1. You have Josh Black working his way up in the top 5. Shane Billings there as well. Chad Lackey working over Shane Billings as Ryan Holland seems to be checking out a little bit. Wade Purchase working underneath Gavin Isley, of course. Two modified chassis drivers. Wade, of course, used to the UMPs, and Gavin Isley used to the Sportsman modified chassis. Of course, that's what I really like about this iRacing thing. It gives drivers to strut their stuff against each other as they work their way down the back straightaway. Gavin Isley stuck on that outside, kind of reminding me of an old NASCAR Martinsville race. You want to be on the bottom here, but you can make it work on the top if you're committed. Now, of course, Isley maybe got a little bit of the wall there coming down the front straightaway, as Ryan Holland seems to be pulling away from the P2 and 3 position cars right now, battling for that final podium spot. As Chad Lackey still working his way up here, battling out with Shane Billings. Lackey just looking outside of 4th place right now. Riding on board with, I do believe this is James Normoyle, Shane Billings now, working it with Lackey. Ryan Holland, Wade Purchase, Isley out there on that top still, trying to make something work. Of course, Isley, if anybody's going to be able to do it, it's going to be him. James Normoyle battling back up into P6, though, working on Shane Billings right now. Normoyle's definitely going to be one to watch here tonight. Of course, getting into a little bit of trouble on the second lap incident coming down the back straightaway, but rebounding quite nicely, to say the least. It's Holland and Purchase and Isley are still battling it out. Of course, the top 5 cars pretty well nose to tail right now. It's just a product of Oswego here, of course. It's always been quite an event, as Normoyle looking to work the outside, kind of going from top to bottom there, coming off the corners. I'm assuming looking for a little bit of momentum, or Normoyle might have found something as well down there. Of course, very, very well seasoned iRacer, so if he knows how to get around this place, it's anybody. As at halfway, lap 14, sorry, not quite halfway, we are now under caution. Of course, now lap 15 being scored halfway. Your top 3 currently, we have Holland, Purchase, Isley, Chad Lackey, and Shane Billings. Matt Barber with an issue. That's really, really strange to see, of course, as we see him rejoin to the tail of the field here under the 3rd or 4th caution flag of the night. I can't quite remember what one we are currently on. But, of course, field behind the pace truck. Let's check into the main chat here while we're under caution. See what any developments here are. Race Control asking if we can switch to single file to get some laps moving. Of course, things running quite smoothly now, I do believe. Of course, 1 lap to green flag here as the pace truck is pulled off into the pit area at the Oswego Speedway. Field working down and through number 10 4 coming to the restart area. Yes, we have 1 car in the pits as Holland and... Oh, I really like this view. Holland and Isley and Purchase working around there. Of course, we got moving well, so of course we stayed with the double file restart. As Zach Lynch having a little bit of trouble back there, he seems to gather it back up as James Normoyle now back into the top 5 here. Wade Purchase working the outside as we're 3 wide for the lead. Gavin Isley looking down to the bottom, coming off turn 3 and 4. Of course, number 9 getting to the wall there. I'm not sure if we're going to be going under yellow, but the leaders seem to be trying to migrate up toward the top a little more as we are under caution. So, of course, working another caution here on lap 16. Not 100% sure what that was, but there were cars all over the place back there, so definitely more than likely related to that sort of thing. Is the number 9 around in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Holland, Isley, Purchase. I do believe that is currently your top 3. This just keeps giving James Normoyle more and more of a chance to get up toward the front as we have more restarts and things get sorted out.
Just also exciting news for the mini stock drivers.
The mini stock class just got added to the big block event September 5th.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, 25 laps, 500 to win.
Oh, well, that's pretty big news for us. Definitely might change my plans for that event. My plan for it was to be one of the trucks chauffeuring drivers around, but of course, if I can get my car up there, then definitely will try racing. Of course, whether it's a dual haul or not, but that's outside of the points class. So I honestly don't know if I'm going to be making an appearance at that event, as we are coming to green here. As Holland, Isley, now P2, start working their way. Wade Purchase following Holland down in turn 1, though. Isley, Norm Oil right up along that top side, as I said earlier. Norm Oil really looking strong here in this Northeast iRacing League. Very well-seasoned, well-respected driver here in iRacing. As he and Isley duke it out on the top side, trying to get by Purchase and Holland. Almost looking like a Daytona-Talladega race right now with the way the field's bunched up. It's quite fun to watch the multiple groups of racing here. As Holland and Isley and Purchase working their way down in turn number 3 and 4. 3 wide for P4, or P3, sorry, the final podium spot. Norm Oil throwing everything he has at these guys, trying to get by them. Of course, quite a bit of talent here in the top 5, to say the least. With Holland so far leading wire to wire. Isley trying to put a stop to that, though, as well as Purchase, Lackey, Norm Oil, Black, Billings. They're all wanting to get up toward the front and lead some laps here. Of course, Holland very, very, very strong on that bottom tonight and going down the straightaways. Just able to get that car to hook up. Wade Purchase slips up a little bit going into turn number 1 and 2. Of course, drops back to P4, battling with Norm Oil for P5. Of course, for P5, we're 3 wide again. Looking really good on that top side now, though. The track's starting to burn off as we are now at the 10 lap to go mark. A handful of laps left to go, or 2 handfuls of laps left to go here at Oswego Speedway as we ride along Norm Oil, who's duking it out currently with Chad Lackey. Following in behind him, Josh Black. Norm Oil just rating the tire tracks pretty well. Chad Lackey coming through the corners. Gavin Isley's working the top. That top side is definitely starting to come in a little bit from what I can see. They're able to actually hang out and keep pace with the cars that are glued down onto the bottom. I don't know if there's any speed to be made up there yet, but Isley and Purchase trying to figure something out here. As Isley got a little bit of the wall coming through turns 3 and 4. As Matt Holland continues to lead the way over Chad Lackey, and James Norm Oil now moved up to 3rd. I don't know if Norm Oil's got his tires hot or used his stuff up or what it may be, trying to get through the field, but nonetheless, he's still putting on a great performance here, battling in through the top 5, through the field. Very, very well respected, of course. We inverted the field tonight, so the faster guys started a little bit toward the mid-pack. Nonetheless, all these drivers showing great talent and strutting their stuff here tonight, especially Matt Holland, as we're coming to 5 laps to go here. Handful of laps left. 5 fingers in the air from the flagman. As Gavin Isley still duking it out with Norm Oil. Zach Lynch working the bottom there, going a lap down, unfortunately again. As Holland and Lackey still leading the way. The battle seems to be for P3. Sorry.
Yellow flag is out.
Wade Purchase working the bottom of the track. He's pretty well searched all over this track tonight. Isley as well. Same with Norm Oil. They're just multiple lanes. 5 laps to go. We have a caution. Not 100% sure who that may be for. This will bunch the field back up and give us quite a little shootout for the end. Of course, pace truck pulling off. I'm going to let Ryland do a little bit of calling here. Just until we come back to green, if Ryland's still in.
Well, I give it a bit of a go. I've been watching the race here. I'm noticing Brody Plotz has been running the high line very smooth. Pretty much the entire race. Made a few positions up.
Looks like there were 2 cars back there duking it out. Bushy and Lackey, maybe. As Matt Barber taking wave arounder the Lucky Dog. I'm not 100% sure what that was for him. Of course, we'll be able to get more information for that coming up throughout the times. disabling the voice chat right now. Maybe some drivers showing some displeasure with each other. I'm not 100% sure what may have happened or what's going on, but I don't see Tyler Bushy out there anymore. Like I said earlier, we have Holland, Lackey, Purchase, Isley, and Normal Oil, your top 5 as we work the caution. But like you said, Rylan, Brody Plots, very,
Hang on, we're
very
not going
smooth
green.
running that top line. He's been pretty much there all night long.
Clayton's also made quite a bit of progress. He's back up to 9th now. Haven't seen much of his race, though, but he's definitely made up some positions.
This restart with 5 laps to go per Brockville, Ontario Speedway rules do the
Green, green,
same.
green.
We are going a single file restart, 1 lap to green. Timing and scoring showing 5 laps to go. As the number 15 of Holland leads us off turn 3 and 4. Nothing wrong with the single file restart. We are clean and green going in down to turn number 1. Currently looking like Chad Lackey starting to look to the left rear of that number 15 tonight. As Wade Purchase following right close on his tail. We've got the number 18 of Isley and Normal Oil hunting that bottom, trying to get up in front of these leaders. I think we're going to see quite a little shootout for the win here as these drivers start to turn on the aggression coming into 2 or 3 laps to go now. Working
Yellow
lap
flag is
28 right
out.
now. Chad Lackey, as close as he's been tonight so far to that number 15, working that bottom really, really well. Wade Purchase throws it in on the top side as we are back under caution yet again. I do believe this will put us under for the green-white checker. By the looks of it, Holland, Lackey, Purchase, Isley, and Normal Oil are your top 5 at the moment. Josh Black 6th. Brody Plots, like Rylan said, currently running in the P7 position. Clayton Solowski P8, Shane Billings 10th, Logan Brown, the winner of the B main, I do believe that was currently sitting P11. Now, of course, Oswego, we found during a couple practices here that the maximum car count or the field size should be around 20 to 24. Definitely with the diverse skills and backgrounds from all these drivers. Of course, we want to just keep the field size down for now, figure out how things are working, and of course, that'll more than likely go up as we are coming 1 lap to green this time around. Pace truck starting to pull away down the back straightaway. 15, 91, 53, 25, 721, all looking for that win. Any one of these drivers could win this event. As
Green's
we
out.
have
Green
2
flag,
laps
green
to go,
flag.
coming to green flag, the number 15, 91, 53, all lined up nose to tail as the green flag is flown. Matt Holland, or Ryan Holland showing to the way. Going down into turn number 1, Chad Lackey down there on the bottom, throwing what he can have at him. That's Gavin Isley working the top side, trying to see if he can make any magic happen back there. As Matt Barber upside down, I do believe that'll put us back under the caution flag, as it at least should be putting us under the caution flag, as car was upside down. But nonetheless, while all that was going on, Ryan Holland, your winner tonight here at Oswego. Or sorry, we're white flag actually. Ryan Holland working the bottom. Chad Lackey throwing what he can at him. Wade Purchase, Gavin Isley on the outside. Normal Oil working down into the P5, working around the bottom, trying to get by Isley if he can. And now officially I can say it, Ryan W. Holland taking the win here at Oswego for the 3rd official practice race. Non-points, of course, for the Northeast iRacing League. Do believe Lackey 2nd, Purchase 3rd. I want to say Isley 4th, Normal Oil 5th. But nonetheless, you're looking at your number 15. He went wire to wire tonight, just like Normal Oil did the past few races that he's won. We'll try and get a hold of Ryan Holland here in the chat if he'd be more than kind to do. As we're looking currently for our race results officially for the 3rd race here in the Northeast iRacing League. As, looking for Ryan Holland. We're going to try and dial him up here. Ryan is not in Discord. Wow. Let's see if we can dial up Chad Lackey, who was in P2. Let's get Chad Lackey in the chat here, of course, working for him, or working on getting him, as well as Wade Purchase, if Wade is on the Discord. As we have somebody joining the chat here. So, Rylan, what do you think of that whole race? Very well put together event, I think. Of course, coming in as a guest commentator, I'm very glad to have you, as well as the drivers, Zach Lynch, Clayton Stolovsky, and Mike Saunders joining as well. That made this really enjoyable to call tonight. But first, let's hear from Chad Lackey, who finished P2. Unfortunately, Ryan Holland does not have Discord. Chad, that was quite the performance you put on. I mean, you had a little bit of an issue in, I do believe, the heat race or earlier. Managed to battle up to P2 and stay right with Ryan throughout those final restarts. How'd you do it, man? Think you have to unmute your mic there, Chad. Nonetheless, we'll see if we can get Chad to join another chat one way or another. But Clayton Stolovsky. Chad, do you have a copy?
Can you hear me now?
Awesome. Thanks, Chad, for coming into this chat. Of course, vintage driver, I do believe you are, throughout the regular race season.
Yes.
How'd you get to P2? I saw you had a couple issues tonight. Nothing too crazy, though. What'd you think of the race? You were right there with Ryan at the end throughout all those final restarts.
Yeah, the car felt real good on the bottom. Didn't have to drive it sideways at all. Drove it like a pavement car the whole time, and it just hooked for me. Little issue there on the start in the feature. Put me to the back. I had to go into the pits there, but managed to drive myself all the way back up to position 2. Nose inside Ryan a couple times there, hoping he was gonna flip, but he managed to hold his line and just drove a great race, man. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. It was very fun to watch. The multiple groups, I don't know if you were ever on the top side there, but it seemed like there was a little bit there toward the middle of the race, but started to burn off toward the end. Did you ever get up there at all tonight to try and make a few passes?
I tried the outside and warm up to see if I could go around anyone, but everyone just kept going inside of me. So no, I just hooked it to the bottom and got my left front as close as I could to the wall and just held my line, and car worked great.
Yeah, it was very, very fun to watch nonetheless. Like I said, thanks for checking in, and I hope to see you one Saturday night soon so we can finally meet face to face. Of course, Vintage will have to be at the Brockville Speedway at the same time, but nonetheless, I'll find a time to say hi, man. Don't be a stranger.
I don't drive Vintage anymore. I quit racing. Had to sell the race car, or it's up for sale right now. Yeah, I miss it.
Unfortunately, priorities get there. I mean, I've seen guys come and go. I'm a car owner myself, so hope to see you sometime nonetheless. And definitely, like I said, don't be a stranger. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks, Colin.
Yep. Still working to see if I can get a hold of Wade Purchase, but I don't think that's going to happen right now. So, nonetheless, thanks everybody for tuning in to the Northeast iRacing League practice event here at Oswego. I'm Colin Chismore, driver of the 03C Mini Stock. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope to see you next time. Thank you.